I don't even know where to begin. I've been gone so long, I don't even know where to start. I think today's the day to bring up something that I'll surprise you with. JP here with a video giving you guys an exclusive look at Burst Protocol. That's right, this market has blown up. This new meta is definitely changing and is giving multiple players the ability to come back and play. Last year was the Elite Four, as we called it. We had K9, we had Mitsurugi, we had Yummy, and we had Drago Tail. Those four decks were just simply too powerful at their maximum to try to keep up with the meta. For rogue players, it was also a hard time. But don't worry, this year has definitely changed a little bit, and some deck changes have definitely been made. Radiant has gotten a stronger ally with the Link 2. This might prove to be a problem. Sheena is also in this deck as a wind monster that just keeps bouncing cards every time an effect goes off. It is insane. So this changes everything. Drago Tail may have lost Merlulu and Ketu, but they didn't lose anything. They have one branded card that also can be put into multiple decks. That is the white boy that we call the Albaz. That's right. He cleansed his soul. He got his hair did and everything. He is ready to go, and he is definitely moving forward. Also within the K9 field, Vanquish Soul definitely are still being played, and Gristron definitely went back to 3 with the inclusion coming off the list. Get ready. Those are some scary cards, and they may also be putting into work for this meta. There's one archetype in particular that in this regard that people are still looking at, and they don't even know if it's going to be good with the proper cards. But I assure you, I did a little something, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. It's a surprise to me and you.
Time to duel!
All right, you deck enthusiasts, what you see below you or right next to me will be the cards that we're talking about from Burst Protocol. The lore and archetype, what we call Elfnote. Elfnote is a level 6 engine that has a lot of synchronicity in regards to getting your synchro monsters out and being able to play on your opponent's turn for manipulation within the center main monster zone. So it doesn't matter what's there, they get switched to the main monster zone for certain effects to work. So I believe it's one of those cards that just like, hey, do I run Senate Switch in here? I would refuse. But they do have abilities that work out against your opponent. And I'll go ahead and explain it as best as I can, as fast as possible, give you a deck profile as well. So with that being said, we're going to start with the deck with two Medias. Medius Superior, again, on lore, has 3 different archetypes that it can go in. Or 3 different summoning conditions. It gets Fusion, XZ, and of course Synchro now. So in that respect, we're just waiting for Blaze Dominion to make it even stronger when they have their own counterparts as Pendulum monsters. In respect to Medius Superior, you're able to either add to your hand or special summon 1 power patron. So this is good to get started on extending plays. This is your starter. If you see it in your hand, you might want to start with it first. If you don't see it, it's okay. There are cards that are able to continue to have this played. So it is going to give you either the starting point or the extending point, however you see it. It is still a good monster. If you have one on the field, you can shuffle it back into the deck, and you're able to special this from the graveyard. If you do, it gets banished. So remember, like I said, there's other cards too that bring that back from the banish zone so you can do it again. So this monster is a problem if you play it right. Next on our list, of course, the Elfnote engine. We want to start with 3 Lucina. Lucina is definitely the most strongest out of them because she's 2,500, but she's also the searcher of the deck. This will give you every Elfnote monster you deserve. It'll give you Tinia and Fortuna, and soon Regina when we get her in Blaze Dominion. So right now, this is good so far. Keeping it at 3. You don't really need to just change it just yet. We're experimenting. So this is kind of what we want to go ahead and start with to get things rolling. When she switched from the main, or so from any zone to the main monster zone, you're able to return 1 level 6 or lower monster your opponent controls back to the hand. So you're able to do monster setup on your opponent's turn and mess them up as a board breaker. So it's good. I enjoy using Lucina most of the time, just returning their monsters back to the hand. Next on our list is 3 Tinia. Tinia is the water monster with 100 less attack at 2,400. Still a good monster to use. At the same time, when you look at it, it is the Ash Blossom Dodger, where you're able to put spell cards into the spell and trap card zone. So it doesn't go to your hand, it activates right away. So if your opponent plays like Magnets with Adamancipator and he sets up Beast, it dodges that because it gets activated right away instead of you activating it to be stopped. In respect to that, if you switch it from any monster zone to the center, then you can rip 1 card out of your opponent's hand till the end phase. So if they only have 1 card and that's the 1 card they need to play, you rip it right away as a quick effect. they can't use it. Maybe it is a stopper at 1 point for your opponent. Still a good card. So play it at 3 if necessary. Next, we have one Fortuna, all alone. I'm sorry. Trap cards may not be popular for most people, but at least with her, she only has one good trap. If you happen to draw it, it's dead. Just simple as that. But you're at least able to play the spell card mostly to try to get there. So that's why the spell card is better in aspect. Maybe we'll get a better trap. Who knows? But right now, Fortuna at 1 is necessary. And also, when she switched from any zone to the middle, center main monster zone, she is able to go ahead and return a spell or trap back to your hand. There's a lot of explanation with that, but you'll see exactly why I choose certain cards to add back to my hand with Fortuna's switching effect. Next, we have the Elfnote Power Patrons. The last one of the archetype that we want to play so far, and a lot of people are only just playing 1. I play 2. 2 is definitely a good number to go ahead and try to keep up with because you just want to see it. It has the ability to go ahead and level modulate to go into an Elfnote synchro, or at least Genora if necessary, because you immediately do it. So once that resolves, you immediately synchro. It's considered like all one effect. But at the same time, if you did use it as synchro material, you get one Elfnote card to your hand. So you're able to continuously extend the play unless they go ahead and stop it like Ash Blossom. But like I said, 1 Ash stopping this deck, it's not going to slow you down the way it's played. So 2 Elfnote Power Patron, I like it like that. Next is the spice to the deck. Again, I'm changing it up as I go. This was what I used for the week, and I like it. But I might change it up to something else that'll be for another video. But for right now, we'll just be talking about my favorite archetype, Centurion. Centurion having 2 Primera is very good because not only are you going to start with a level 4, you're going to be able to search for stuff, be able to set up level 8, level 12 combos to try to get board breakers out there. This deck has precedented like 6 negates if you do it correctly. So I enjoy it. I do. I do enjoy it. So if you can do that, then you're already on the step on a path ready to play this deck at full power. But unfortunately, because we're playing the Elfnote, we kind of want to keep things segmented in a percentage to where we're able to at least see it and not clog our deck to make it dead. Primera is very good at 2, and she's the light tuner for the deck, so that's good to start out with a level 4 tuner, at least in my regard. Next one is Trudea. This one pulls out from hand or deck, and you're able to put them in the spell and trap card zone. Again, she also level modulates from 4 to 8, but she's not a tuner. So it's okay. Like I said, it is what it is. I mean, it's very precedented to where you can go ahead and be able to synchro. And if you make her level 8, you can modulate that with Elfnote Power Patron to either increase it even further beyond, make it a level 11. So that way you can go into 12. But remember, that Power Patron is stipulated with synchroing into an Elfnote Synchro or Genora, which unfortunately does not work. You would have to use it in that area. But with the with the Seraphim Elfnote creature, you're able to decrease its level. So give that a little bit of thought. Trudea becomes a level 5 if done right. So maybe you can summon Genora faster in a different way. Next up is Gargoyle. No explanation. I mean, Gargoyle definitely gets you what you need. And it's also a fun card to play because you're able to put it back in your hand after you use it as synchro material. And you can ditch it for welcome home. So get that, right? So it's like, hey man, I need a monster to throw away, but I can't really play this one. All right, I'm going to use all its effect once. So you put it on the field with your data, you special summon it, you make it either a level 4 or level 8. You synchro summon with it, and then you're able to put it back into your hand as a chain block. So you can, be able to play Oxyla to search and then add Gargoyle to hand. So you just, switch how the chains work and be able to block Ash Blossom. So you chain link 2 Gargoyle, chain link 1 Oxyla, and you're able to not only search, you get Gargoyle back to your hand. In respect to Gargoyle being added back to your hand, it has the effect to send a Centurion card on the field to your graveyard to special summon it from your hand. And again, at that point, it's only treated as level 8. It doesn't get the level modulation. That only works once per turn. But in respect to doing that, again, like I said, level 12s pump out of here like water. So you're able to go ahead and get the big boss monsters ready to go ahead and set up board breakers. With Gargoyle being said, doing that, Gargoyle also has another effect. If you use Elfnote Welcome Home, you throw it away from your hand to the graveyard. It's a dark, so you're able to get all three of the girls. You either get a light, an earth, a light, a fire, or a water. So that also works with Welcome Home to be able to special up Elfnote directly from the deck to the field. If you have the trap card, then you just throw it away from your hand to be able to switch with a attribute that's different from the one you threw away. So again, this is dark. Ain't no dark elf notes. You're able to get away with it. So it works in multiple ways. I would think to run 2 gargoyle, but just 1 is fine. And then last but not least, Atri. Atri is basically your draw engine after you get your Primera Primus on the field to search for the Emblema Oath. The Oath becomes your draw. As long as it's in the graveyard and you have a Centurion on the field, Synchro, you can draw. You just keep drawing. Basically, she's just there as a level 4 tuner. You can also turn it off as a non-tuner. So it also works, in aspect to being able to manipulate. So given that situation, you're still able to utilize it. This is kind of like your off-draw base scenario. It's a good card nonetheless. Now, for hand trust, I chose 3 Ash Blossom because Ash Blossom's still not broken. And then we have 3 Full of Wasp. And then we have 2 Draw and Lockbird. Now, given that scenario with the way that it's played or placed, I don't want to run Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is good. Trust me, I get it. There's too many hand traps as it is. You want to see most of your engine getting into the area where you need it to be. Sometimes Full of Wasp is definitely a dead card to even have. You throw it away for Welcome Home, which is okay. Like I said, Full of Wasp is one of those cards that if they break everything on your board, you can still be able to hope and pray draw from it. Still not a bad card. Some hand traps are just not necessary to play because they don't do nothing else for you. Yes, Ghost Bell may be able to stop your graveyard, but not really necessary. I mean, there's not many decks other than Magnets that will probably do a lot of graveyard help. You could probably stop Drago Tail with some graveyard help, but they do have negates too, so it's really not necessary. If Abyss Dweller was back, I'm sure a lot of people would be just playing the 1 copy, but it is what it is. Just pick your battles on how you want to do your hand traps in respect to playing the engine that you choose. Or at least if you want to go into the synchro plays, this is necessary. All right. So with that being said, we're just going to go straight to the spells. Not much direction there. Again, 3 Emblema Oath. Emblema Oath is necessary to be able to set up the Primera, put it in the spell trap card zone, maybe start the searching for the starting play. This is a good starter to start with. You can actually make it an extender when you summon level 8 Primera. Primera Primus. Jesus, there's a lot of names. But in respect to that, you're able to go ahead and manipulate. Setting the spell and trap Centurion card, not necessary because Phalanx could be used either on the turn it's in the graveyard or if you just had it in your hand, whatever, you can just play it. Bringing back a Centurion Synchro might be more helpful than anything else. So I think it's necessary. 2 stand-up Centurion is necessary as well. Gives you the ability to throw away a card, add a Centurion card directly from your deck to your hand. Like I said, Gargoyle just plays really well with this deck. Or if you have Medius in the hand, throw it away because you're now able to make a board, put back something you don't necessarily need, get Medius. Medius summons the Power Patron. Ta-da! Extending. You know what I mean? So there's more to this deck than meets the eye, and it's much. A lot of people say it's much stronger. I just have a feeling it's really good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's really good to just do that. Next up is Wake Up Centurion. Wake Up Centurion is the one-off. You get the token as long as you have something in the spell and trap card zone that's Centurion. You get a 4 and an 8. You can throw away a card from the deck to the graveyard when you banish this card. Really? Yeah, it is what it is. Keeping it at 1 is necessary. Seriously. 2 cards also. Elfnote Welcome Home. Elfnote Welcome Home is one of the best spells I've ever seen. You throw away a card, a monster card in your hand, and you're able to special Elfnote from the deck. Now, as long as it's a different attribute, of course, that's where it works in. And whatever's in the center main monster zone can be destroyed by card effects. This card is just supremely good. I mean, I can't say no to it. It's really good. If you have it in your hand to start, oh well, I'll just play it. But it's also good as the combo to be able to play with Tinia. Tinia puts it back onto the field. So I think it's great in that aspect. these are two cards that I was going to run. There's one more that I want to look for, and we'll see about getting a hold of that since it's common. But these are Theorealize, and then the one Theorealize Overdrive. Now, given that circumstance, remember each one has a secondary effect. So even if it gets milled to graveyard in any which way, shape, or form, it's still good. You know, you don't have to worry about Maybeeeee to pure being either search from deck to hand, or if it's banished or in the graveyard, be able to summon it. Uh, yes, Maybeeeee is all arounder the best card within this situation, but they made three cards for Maybeeeee to be able to do because with the third one, I think there's something in which that you're able to make any monster on the field a tuner if you banish it. So remember when I said about level 12 Synocracy? It is really apparent to get all of your level 12s ready. And especially with board breakers like this, you get your Red Nova, Red Supernova, you're able to get out your Cosmic Blazar Dragon, and you just set up and start wiping boards away. Like if they start doing monster effects, Red Supernova banishes the opponent's field, including yours, including that monster, I should say. And then at the same point, you still have the Omni Negate, which is Cosmic Blazar Dragon, for anything else that they play. At the next end phase, you do get that back, but on the regular end phase, you do get Cosmic Blazar back. So you're not losing out. You're definitely not losing out. You can easily wipe away your opponent and win the game as long as they don't have anything to negate. Now, granted, both of these cards have costs to be banished. So kind of hard to stop if they say, all right, trigger effect banish, and then start the whole scenario. But if you're able to be like, I don't know, Imperial Iron Wall, where they can't banish it, I know nobody's running Iron Wall, it's just an example, then it might be hard. But other than that, those two synchros are definitely problematic. And it's wonderful when I'm playing it. Next on our list, two Forbidden Crown and two Forbidden Droplet. The Droplet is there when you play Crown or any other cards that you're able to wipe away off the field. I've done it with Theorealize Overdrive. When you do Theorealize Overdrive, it just makes it an extra card to negate something on the field. So I preferred using that. And Crown is my imperm as well. It's kind of a faster imperm if you think about it, because not only is it click play, you can play it on your turn, and you can have cards on the field. So whereas imperm does have that stipulation where you can't have nothing else on the field before you imperm. So I don't like it. It's kind of a one-off card. It's just choice scenario. Imperm was so good for so long. It's finally about time something else took its place, and I think Crown is especially apparent in the scenario. Next, Synchro Rumble. We got the crossed up designator, and then we have the Call by the Grave. Yep, simple three. Your designator is for hand trap costing. Unless you play a mirror match, you need to stop Maybeeeee. There you go. Or just in general, whoever's playing Maybeeeee, you stop it. The Call by the Grave, again, especially if they have something like Arthurion going off and Draco Tail, you just stop it. Bang. And then Synchro Rumble, you get the tuner back, you're able to start the whole process over again to start synchroing in that aspect. So these are just the big three that I remember, and that's all for now. Finally, the trap cards that we play here, Centurion Phalanx and one Rhapsodia of Madness. Now, remember I said there's only one trap that Fortuna has. This one's the best one, because if there's something in the graveyard, you're able to bring it back with a different attribute by sending one monster from hand or field to the graveyard. At the same time, if you control a synchro monster, you can target one card and negate it. That is all one effect. So if they have to stop the graveyard at any point, so that effect does not fully resolve, they have to. There's no bits and pieces in there where it's like, oh, you brought the monster back, then I'll just chain to stop the effect. No, you have to stop it all at once. I might up this to 2. It's just really good. Honestly, it's just really good to play this at least 1 or 2. I mean, if you draw it, whatever, you have to activate it next turn, big deal. But at least you're able to just start playing this against your opponent, and then they're forced to attack whatever in the main monster zone. So if you set up a body like Chaos Angel that doesn't die in battle, and then you have the spell card that they can't be destroyed by card effects, mwah, perfection. Even though it's like, you can't, it's unaffected by activated monster effects. Some people just play Raigeki. You have something that says, nope, no Raigeki. Chaos Angel is just severely broken in that center main monster zone with those 2 cards out. If you have Oxala, mwah, again, they can't destroy your spells and traps. And then if you have Primera out there, they can't target the level 5 for destruction. So any level 5 or higher for destruction. It's simple math. It may take a few cards, this deck can simply pump it out very easily. So given that, I think this deck is 44. It's a good number. Um, no more, no less in that aspect. Next, we go into the extra deck. Again, I'm just gonna pile right through this. Really not much to talk about, but we'll just go over it. We have 2 copies of Auxilla. Auxilla, you just want to be able to see. Given the aspect, like I said, you get the search, and then at the end phase, you get 1 in the spell and trap card zone. Any face-up spells and traps that you have, can't be destroyed by card effects. 1 Legatia. 1 Legatia is definitely simple. Legatia gives you the draw and destroys the highest attacking monster on your opponent's side of the field. Anything less than 2,000 attack can't be destroyed by battle. So again, that's also okay. And then at the end phase, you get a non-synchro Centurion output and spell and trap card zone. Remember, Synergy keeps coming back. I love it. Centurion is going to be played on your opponent's turn when necessary. And then if you have stand-up Centurion now, it's just simply going to go ahead and synchro. Like I said, it's just, it's so good. And then finally for the Centurion, you got the Primera Primus, Jesus Christ. And then what she does, she's able to go ahead and search the emblem of oath, and then it pops 2 cards. So remember when I said when you have Auxilla out and none of your spells and traps are destroyed, you target one of them, 1 card on your field, 1 card on their field, and destroy both. So if you have Auxilla, you target the Welcome Home as an example. Welcome Home's not destroyed, but their card is. And because the targets were already primarily made, it just Auxilla protected. So that's still good. It's like Scrap Dragon back in the day. You target 2, 1's destroyed, the other's destroyed. If 1 can't be destroyed by a specific card effect, still okay because it still destroys your opponent's resolution. So that's where it comes in handy. Next we have Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon is definitely the most staple card in this deck because all of your level 12s become, you target it, get another level 12. Just keeps going as far as Synocracy is concerned. Then you have your Chaos Cosmic Blinkno Dragon, and then your Red Nova. Simple. Like I said, Red Nova is definitely a breadwinner in this deck. It just kills your opponent if he's in mid-stride to try to set up a board breaker, and then it just wipes your opponent completely clean off the board, and he has to restart. So it just gives option where necessary. I think this card might be banned. Who knows? But right now, at least in this format, it should be necessarily played. I enjoy it. One Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel might be going to 2 because simple as that, original attributes, I play light and dark. I can get both effects. Even if I don't get both effects, the unaffected by monster effects, and just having it out there, it's 3,500. Not many monsters can run over 3,500. Naturally, they have to give like boosting, or if they get the monsters to work. Cool 2 might also be an issue when that rest of that stuff comes out. Because I've seen some big power-ups that they can get, and it's scary. 1, Origenics Return 0. The Return 0 is simply good, only to an extent. If I don't have a wind or an earth and people are playing magnets or radiant typhoon, I am simply not going to summon that. It is not going to work because with his effect to work, you need monsters of the same attribute in the graveyard in order to respond, to negate, and destroy. Unfortunately, that just doesn't work. It just does not work in this scenario. So you definitely need some board breakers to keep it up. We do have the 1 Chain Yang. Chain Yang is the best card because you're able to banish certain things. If Medius uses effect and it banishes on its own, then you're able to have the resolution, activate Chain Yang, you start getting rid of stuff off field and graveyard of your opponents. So, best level 10 I've ever seen. Still is the best level 10 now. I might even bump that to 2. Who knows? We'll see. 1 Genora, because like I said, Genora is definitely a peace breaker when it regards to summoning your monsters. All of your monsters are your opponent controls negated, kind of like a Dark Ruler no more when it's synchro summon. And if you have any elf notes out on the field in those zones are locked because at that pair, any monster that's put there can't be used for any materials such as Link, Synchro, Exi, or Fusion. So remember with Genora and how many elf notes that you can control, you can actually manipulate the board where your opponent can play his monsters and such, but he can't use them from the extra deck at all in any means whatsoever except Pendulum. So, given that scenario, think about it. Genora is very powerful. We'll probably see more support for it soon. And then, of course, 1 Elfnote Seraphim. 1 Elfnote Seraphim is definitely logical. 2 might be better because it brings back a level 6 from the graveyard for free, and you're able to level modulate. So, like I said, if anything level 6 and higher will go down by 3. So you're able to get those easy Genora plays or any other synchro plays if necessary to keep momentum going as you're playing the deck. Next, we have one Zaylan, the Shackle Dragon. This card is just busted. It is stupid. Any first or second effect that activates immediately turns it off. At the same time, this is a dragon tuner that can also be used as a non-tuner. There's just so many things not wrong with this. And for a level 7 at 2800 attack, remember Goyo Guardian? Ooh, yeah, it's very strong. And it was problematic at the time. This might also be an issue later on. But at least one for now is necessary. And last but not least in that deck, we have TG Hyper Librarian. Hyper Librarian is just super broken. You're able to keep drawing as long as you synchro. So if you're full of Waskets Ash Blossom, you have Hyper Librarian. Hope you don't get drolled. That's it for the extra deck here, at least in respect to that. And of course, the side deck was just a bunch of riffraff and rigmarole. I don't need to explain it. I'll just show you, and then we'll end the video for another update later on what I may do to the deck in the future. But at least what I played in the side deck was just some fun stuff. I didn't really do a whole lot. I did 3 Nibiru just because I'm tired of being targeted. For Nibiru, I could just cross out Designator if I have a monster to stop Nibiru. It is what it is. Book of Eclipse on my turn is perfect. On my opponent's turn, I would never do it. But at least on my turn, during like the standby phase, they need to activate something. I put everything face down, so it's just perfect. Especially if they like try to set up like K9 boards or whatever, I can just Book of Eclipse and they can't do it. So it's perfect. Change Your Heart, because it's at 3, still good. I mean, even though the targeting scenario is still a thing, I like taking monsters for myself to synchro summon. So if I can't get everything out, but I have a tuner, I'm gonna take the non-tuner and synchro. Simple as that. 2 Raigeki and a Feather Duster. Like I said, Lightning Storm being at 3, it's cool, but you can remember you only play once per turn. Raigeki doesn't have that stipulation, and so does Feather Duster. If we get Feather Duster to 3, that might just break the market. Just saying. And then last but not least, 3 Crackdown. And like I said, control may be the name of the game here. I'm gonna take your monsters and I'm gonna synchro summon. That's basically all I'm trying to do in this deck. Break your board as much as possible. But again, that's the deck profile, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments below. Share with all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Enthusiasts out there for maybe some new ideas, some cool innovative plays moving forward for any future tournaments or even events of higher caliber, such as Nationals, Worlds, etc. But again, if you guys like it, comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. And again, I'm glad I'm back. I'm about to do some more videos, get you guys content. Take care, y'all.